Hello, everyone. Happy Friday to all of you. And thank you for joining in today. I hope that you've all had a great week. Let's see here. Debbie says that she received her new Mega 2 yesterday. That's awesome. I'm doing an experiment right now with my Mega 5 that Opus sent me, and it's actually going very, very well. And I'll be sharing that with you here. It's not going to be done for a few days, but very good. Awesome. Make sure that you use it on a regular basis, Debbie. Don't just let it sit in a corner collecting dust. Let's see. Evita is in the house. How are you doing, Evita? I have to find JR to say hello to him separately since he's got his own account now. Rich Mountains, how you doing? Dana, how are you doing? Mikhail, good to see you. Dale Robertson, Mr. Green Jeans, how are you doing? Good to see you here today. Ladies and gentlemen, this may be our last transmission, live that is, because who knows what's going to happen on Monday, the 8th of April. Now, how many of you, give me a one if you are truly worried about this upcoming Monday, the 8th of April, with everything that's been said about it, all of the prophecies, etc. States, governments saying you need to get prepared with so many weeks of food, water, all this kind of stuff. How many of you are truly concerned about what may happen this Monday? There's one thing that I'm really questioning about our government deciding to do on Monday, and I'll share that with you in a minute. If I forget, please remind me because it's something that I think is very interesting. So let's see who else do we have. We have SR in the house. How you doing, SR? Good to see you. Colleen Rich, James McNally. How are you doing? Good to see you today. Skipping Rocks is here. Sabrina, Kathleen Maddox. How are you doing? Linda, how are you? Common Sense Karen, I like it. How are you doing here? Yarn Prepper is in the house. How are you? Cajun Red, Trouble Bear Stetter, Blanca Howard. Many blessings to you as well, all the way from Michigan. Don Quest. We got a good amount of snow here in the last couple of days. It started snowing yesterday, and man, it just kept snowing. And it's like the forecast said it was supposed to be done snowing like early this morning, and it just kept snowing till like noon or so. And but the temperature is high enough to where just about everything that snowed overnight and through into the noon time has pretty much melted away. So I think that's probably going to be headed down to the lower 48. Italian Eddie is in the house. AZ Watch, Rusty, good evening. Diane Carver, Vini Queen, how are you doing? Ali is here. Michelle Law, April Borba, how are you? Let me see. Michelle Forey, Dawn S is here from the great state of Texas. Next is it Granny Prepper, Linda Bob, how are you doing? I hope you're all having a very good Friday. Thank God it's Friday, right? And that you have a good weekend planned ahead. Make sure that in your weekend plans, you include a little bit of prepping, ladies and gentlemen. It can't hurt now, can it? Before, whatever's going to happen happens this coming Monday. There's our good friend, Cecilia. Cecilia, how are you? I hope you're doing well today. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what? I'll talk about this later on. Let me try to work my way down a little bit. Let me see if I get any number ones for if there's anyone that's worried about what's coming on. Let's see. Jay Berg reacts. How you doing, Jay? So you are a little bit worried about this upcoming Monday with all of the predictions and prophecies and stuff that's been going around. Okay. Well, I mean, that's not taking anything away from you because there is something that's in the back of my mind that I've been thinking about, wondering why it is that they're doing this now. I mean, there's a lot of whys in what the governments and the state governments have put out for this Monday. Monday is the 8th, right? Yes, okay. Just want to make sure that's right. There's a lot of whys that should be asked. Like, why are they deploying the National Guard? Have they ever deployed the National Guard to any other solar eclipse events that you know of? Not that I know of, but I could be wrong. If they have, let me know here in the comments. Mr. Tom is in the house. How you doing, Mr. Tom? Good to see you today. Always good to see you, by the way, Mr. Tom. JT is here. Hello, JT. Let's see. So I saw Yarn Prepper and JT. Jan is in the house. How are you doing, Jan? Our lovely moderators. Lone Preppers here. Anika Ani, how are you doing? Let's see. Let's bring it on down some. But then again, like I was saying, there's many whys. Like why all of a sudden because of an eclipse are states governments, at least four that we know of, right, that are telling their people, their citizens, you need to stock up on water, you need to get some other forms of communication besides a cell phone just in case they go down. You need to have your vehicles topped off with gas, have a generator, have food, have all these things that we preppers here have been telling you should have anyways for years now. Why all of a sudden for an eclipse are they telling you that? And ladies and gentlemen, anything that I tell you is just me thinking out loud, all right, to build conversation, and to have a good time today. It's not something that I'm very, very worried about. And the reason is because I believe that I'm pretty well prepared for any short term, maybe not really long term, like if the lights go out forever, but short to mid-term crises, as we should all be. Right. So it's not me here trying to scare anyone. It's just thinking out loud. And the questions that I have, I think are pretty legit. Why now? Jennifer Cruz is in the house. How you doing, Jennifer? Dale Cobb, how you doing, Dale? Good to see you as always. JR, Mr. Evita, how are you doing, JR, my friend? How's that Toyota running? That's an awesome car, by the way. Let's see. Gene Miles, how are you doing? All the way from Fayette County, Illinois. Let's see. And Jay Berg is here all the way from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I just swallowed the wrong way, so let me not blow your ears out. All right, that would have been bad if I would have just coughed like that, right? Without turning it off. All right, bring it down some more. Republic SR. I call you SR, right? SR. AP making me get up for the also good here. There was a fire at a meat plant in Kansas. Showdown till the 25th. Plant does 6,000 head of cattle. So there was another fire, huh? Incredible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just stock up. We don't really know what's coming. We may think we know, and we may be prepared for what we think is coming, but just be prepared in general, and you should be all right. Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you. You don't have to do that, but thank you very much. Let's see. Anarchy Tattoo Studios, Bronx, New York. How are you doing? Good to see you. Becky Williams is here. Suzanne Golette, how are you doing? Sabrina. Let me bring it on down some. Just smile and carry on, Junior. All right? Life is good. Okay. All right. I made it down to the bottom here. So, first of all, let me share this picture with you because I think it's very cute and funny in a way. Look at that. Those are my troublemakers right there. Obviously, you can see that that there is Karma and Dog. And Dog, we actually had to bring to the hospital over the last weekend. I think it was last Saturday. We had to bring her to the hospital. She had a cut on her leg. My daughter noticed it. I think it was like on Thursday or Friday that she had a cut on the upper part of one of her, I think, left leg. Yeah, her left leg. And we're like, okay, my wife says, okay, just wash it off really good, put some Neosporin on it and see what happens. And then by Saturday, she wouldn't eat. Her leg was swollen. So we had to take her to an emergency vet. And what they ended up doing was cleaning it really. It was just infected. So her entire leg was already infected from a tiny cut. The cut must have been maybe a half an inch long. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if you saw the prepping on the cheap video that I just posted a day or two ago, where I talked about if you're getting just the basics, getting a basic medical kit, just a basic first aid kit, there's nothing wrong with that because most people are going to need the basics. You're not going to have people fracturing their arms left and right, in your MAG, in your mutual assistance group, or in your home. What's going to happen is people are going to be doing things that are out of the ordinary, be it chopping wood, be it foraging for food, be it hunting, be it whatever. They're going to get cuts and nicks and bruises and stuff like that. And you're going to have someone in charge of inspecting all of these little cuts and nicks and bruises, and making sure that they're scrubbed really clean when they first occur, that they have just a second, that they have some antibiotic treatment applied to it. That way it doesn't get infected, because those are the things that are really going to get you, or the things that you don't think will get you. So anyways, on dog, it was a tiny cut, about a ½ inch, that got infected, and it was really bad. And she wouldn't eat. She wouldn't even go outside to use the bathroom. It wasn't looking really good. So we took her to the hospital, to the vet, and they cleaned her up. They cleaned up the cut. They gave her some antibiotics and pain medicine, and now she's doing really well. The cut is closing up and all that stuff. So like I said, what happened to her can transfer to a human anytime. A small cut can pretty much be the end if you don't treat it right away. But anyways, that's them right there on the couch just hanging out. You can see that Lulu up here, that she's standing over watch, right? And then today, actually just before the live stream, about 20 minutes or so before, I was in the house, and little Miss Alaska Prepper was trying to cut the nails on Lulu. Today is nail cutting day, and she'll be cutting the nails. She's probably done by now, cutting the nails on the dogs. And she was trying to cut the nail on Lulu, and Lulu kept trying to nip at her because she doesn't like to get her nails cut. So my daughter said, just a second, and check this out. I think it's funny. So that there is Lulu on her way to get her nails or her claws cut with a guard, with a muscle guard. So that's it right there. Let me get that off of there. I just thought that it was funny. I was like, just a second, let me take a picture of this, because if you see her on that picture right there, look at that. You can see her eyes. She looks like she's defeated. She's like, man, they won. Oh, okay. McBean is in the house. How you doing, John? Good to see you. Mario, how are you? Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you, all right? So if you have any questions, if you have any comments that you want to share with the community, put it all in caps so that I can catch it, hopefully, all right? And if I miss it, and it's been a few minutes since I missed them, put it up again, and hopefully I'll be able to catch it. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today real quick is one of the things that's in the back of my mind that I think is worth talking about. So I didn't get very deep into this, into why it is that NASA has decided to launch, I believe it's 3 rockets into the atmosphere to study the effects of the eclipse. I don't understand that. Does anyone here have something to justify why they would do that? First of all, why would you study the effects of an eclipse? Like, what effects? What are they studying, right? And then one of the things that popped in my head, and remember, this is not me trying to fearmonger. It really isn't. It's just my thoughts out loud. One of the things that popped into my head was EMP. In a book that I read a while back, right? And in that book, someone asked a question, would one rocket or would one ICBM be enough to take down the entire continental United States? And I don't know if this answer is right or not, but this was the answer given. And the answer is that they would need multiple, because one would have to go so high in the atmosphere that by the time that it coned out, it wouldn't be that strong. So they said that it would have to be multiple in different parts of the country. Because again, anyone here have any input on that? Why would they have to study the effects of an eclipse? What effects? That's what I'm getting at. What effects and what's going on in the background that they're doing that we're not looking at, because all of this eclipse stuff is all over the news, all over social media, etc. All right. So let me say thank you very much to Penny. Thank you, Penny. Truly do appreciate you. Let's see. Okay. I'll turn it over to all of you. Antonio, how are you doing? Good to see you all the way from, where are you? Colorado. Good to see you and welcome. Grand Scheme, how are you? 4.8 magnitude earthquake in the East Coast here. 4.8 eclipse. Wow, isn't that something? Oh, so there was a 4.8 magnitude earthquake in the East Coast? I didn't even hear about that, you know. So thank you for letting me know. I guess I'll have to look into that. Let's see, who is this? South River Prepping. How you doing, South River? got my OUPES 2400 delivered today. Can't wait to test it. Yes, man, I hope you took advantage of that sale they were having, because that was an awesome sale. They must not have sold all of them, because I see that they're still on sale, just not as good of a price as what it was before. But yeah, that was a great sale. Just for the OUPES, it was, I think, $7.99 minus 5%. Outstanding. I haven't been... Yeah, 103 Catherine says, I haven't been getting updates. If you're referring to getting like notifications from this channel, you probably won't be, because that's pretty much stopped. You know, as far as I'm concerned, almost none of the community members that are subscribed here are being notified. So just to let you know how bad it really is, as far as my videos really not being shared by YouTube to the extent that it used to be, it's not even shared out or recommended out to the people that are subscribed to the channel. So for example, I put a video out a couple of days ago that was substantive to news, to things that YouTube doesn't really like people talking about, right? And I think we're at about 225,000 community members here. I think they sent that thumbnail out to about 69,000 people. So roughly a quarter, a little more than a third of the people that are subscribed to the channel got notified that there was a video out. And that's what they do when they don't like what you're saying or want you to change your behavior, pretty much. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's not complaining. It's just acknowledging that the system is this way for a reason, right? Because they want to be able to propagandize you and program you into thinking and doing what it is that they want you to do. Excuse me. Coffee Guy says, AP, I believe they are trying to block the sun. Well, I know that they have some kind of a program where they want to block the rays from the sun coming in so that it will calm down the global warming. And if you haven't seen the video that I put out this morning, you need to watch that video, ladies and gentlemen, and forward it to anyone that you know that believes in the narrative that they've been pushing for the last 20, 30 years on global warming. I'll leave it at that because I want this live stream to continue. Just trust me. If you go watch that video, and I did leave the link of the source, excuse me, of the source, so you can go look at it for yourself. It's not stuff that I'm making up. You're going to be like, oh my goodness. Hopefully it will wake some people up. That's the best that I can ask for. Hopefully it'll wake some people up. Oh, let's see. Tisme here. How are you doing? How do you store dog food? Well, I've had a very bad experience a long time ago with dry kibbles. They ended up getting rancid. All right. I left them stored in their original containers and they ended up getting rancid. But what I would do is to store dog food for long term, I would try to do it in one of two ways. Actually 3 ways, to tell you the truth. If you want to store actual dog food, do it in cans. Because cans, just like canned food for humans, canned dog food or canned cat food will pretty much last indefinitely. As long as they're properly stored, kept in a temperature-controlled environment, they're not dinged or dented and stuff like that. Right? They'll pretty much last, indefinitely, really. Just like the USDA says that canned food for humans will pretty much last indefinitely, as long as the container has not been compromised. Same thing with dog and cat food. And they do sell freeze-dried dog and cat food, I believe, but for sure dog food. They sell freeze-dried dog food. So you can buy freeze-dried dog food, go ahead and put an oxygen absorber in there, reseal it, and put it away, and there you go. But also, you can go ahead and make your own dog food and have the dry supplies to make your own dog food, like rice, oats, wheat berries. You have meat put away, whatever meat is undesirable to you. You can just go ahead and put that away pressure canned, or if you're lucky enough to have a freeze dryer, to freeze dry it and stuff like that. So you can always make your own. Every once in a while, not always, I'll make a big pot of rice and my wife will throw some meat scraps in there. And they actually sell some powdered vitamin that you can put in food for dogs. She'll put some of that in there and we'll feed that to the dogs until it's gone, because they really like that. So it like changes the pace of them just getting kibbles all the time. So you can also do that. Store up enough dried ingredients where you can make your own dog food, or worst case scenario, he or she can eat scraps or learn how to hunt squirrels, right? South Florida DCL, how are you doing? Good evening to you. Ann Palmer from the great state of Louisiana is in the house, and she just said, came in the house to say hello, and I hope everyone has a blessed weekend. Got to get some mowing done before dark. All right, well, have a great weekend, Ann, and thank you for stopping by. I did hear about CERN doing that experiments, and I think it's called the God particle. They're trying to see if they can hit two particles together at like 10 miles or 10,000 miles below the speed of light or something like that to see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in interesting times, and I mean, it'll be interesting. Let's see if they do it, and let's see what happens. Okay, let's just see. So CERN is being turned on May 8th or April 8th? I thought it was April 8th. Also, Mr. Green Jean says that the reason that NASA is sending up those 3 rockets is because they want to take a look at the ionosphere during the eclipse. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not a scientist, and at the very least, I'm not a rocket scientist. So I guess if that's the case, I wonder why it is that they want to look at that. Like, I like want to know why. Like, why is it? And I'll look it up. I'm not asking you to look it up, Mr. Green Jeans, but I'll see if I can look it up. Why is it that they want to see what happens during an eclipse this time around when so many others have occurred in the past? So, anyways, we'll see. Let's see. Carol and Rocky ask, is it too late to get an OUPES solar generator? It's not too late, and I'm not sure if they actually stopped the sale of the single OUPES generators, like just the 2400, just the unit, or if they just have bundles that cost more. Because when I went and looked today, I remember now that it was a bundle. I was looking at an actual bundle, not the single unit. But if you missed that sale, that was $799. Send them an email and see if they will honor the sale, since it was only about a week ago or so. See if they will honor that price. All right. Michael, how you doing, man? Michael Stacking, the price of gold and silver is skyrocketing. Are you serious? Gold hit 2,400 in USD? I can't believe that gold hit 2,400. I'm looking at it right now. Let me see. All right. Well, if it hit 2,400, it must have been intraday, because the last I saw was like 2,340, which is still pretty impressive. And that's nothing compared to what it should be, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing at all. And silver, too. I think silver hit 28, and the last I seen it dropped down to like 2750 or something like that. I'll tell you what, I had to go and get myself some more junk silver, because it was such a great deal. I had this a really long time, but the junk silver that I got is in the house. Every month, ladies and gentlemen, on the first week of the month, I get a little bit. So this month, the budget only allowed us to get a few quarters. So we ended up getting a few dollars, face dollars of quarters. But that's in the house. I got this a long time ago, and it's just sitting here. But man, now is the time to get junk silver if you find a place like I have. Right now, don't be flooding Alaska Rare Coins with phone calls, because they're not going to be able to give you as good of a deal if you're like out of state or out of the city where they're at, because shipping would be involved. But if you live in Fairbanks and you're able to go to Alaska Rare Coins and get some junk silver right now, or at least yesterday, I was able to get it for below spot, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so this is the time to get it. And I'll tell you what, I don't think, I'm not a financial advisor. I have to say that because I'm on the internet. I don't think that anyone that gets silver right now will live to regret it. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, let's see. You never know, Nexit. You never know, man. Let's see. Let's see. I'm looking, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed, Patricia. And that's why I've always stood by that good will always prevail over evil. Always. It's just the matter of getting from point A to point B, isn't it? All right, bringing it down some. Let's see who's this. Dale Robertson, how you doing? Dale asks, do you still have the code for nutrient survival? Yeah, I do. Just take a look at the description of all of my videos. I always have a link there and a code, all right, that you can just go to and you'll save. I think right now it's 10%. Man, I wish you would have caught it earlier this week because I had a 20% coupon that was good for 3 days. But either way, go ahead and check it out. I think my code is for 10% off right now, 10 or 15%. I forget. I've got so many darn codes, but absolutely. And you're going to love the eggs and the milk if you get them. How you doing, Michael? Good to see you, man. Chelsea Hutchinson is in the house. Good to see you, Chelsea. Let's see. Is that Trout Gaming 419? Good to see you. So it was an earthquake in New Jersey. Okay. So East Coast. How about that? That's not very likely in the East Coast, is there, for there to be earthquakes, even though I mean a 4.4 or 5.4 is not huge, but still, if you're not used to getting it, then I don't know about how the building codes work. If they have building codes that will resist an earthquake, even though it's a 4.4. So let me know. Hey, Ma too is in the house. How you doing, Ma? Good to see you. Yeah, Milo. Milo on the ready. How are you doing, by the way? Everyone should find a good bike mechanic or maybe get your own bike and learn how to service it. Absolutely. So let me just read this. Some people are just listening. Milo on the ready says, if the power goes out long term, everyone should find a good bike mechanic. And I believe that if the power goes out long term, a bike mechanic and people that can work, handyman, whether you be a mechanic of any kind, someone that knows how to fix a door jam, build a shed, et cetera, with hand tools, you will be the new superstars of the economy. My opinion, of course. Let's see. Growing. Thank you very much, Growing. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Well, Paul Davis, I'm glad that I'm coming up on someone's feed. Good. Thank you for letting me know. Let's see. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, go check out Deep South Bama with Mr. Tom. That's Mr. Tom's channel, and it's awesome. And you're going to love that old man. He is about to turn 97 years old here in a few days. So go ahead and support him. I know, JT. Last week when I said that, everyone kept telling me Mr. Tom's not 97. I'm just messing with Mr. Tom. I believe, if I remember correctly, I believe Mr. Tom, hey, Mr. Tom, correct me on the comments. I believe you're going to be turning 67 or 68 at the most. But I believe it's 67 that you're turning this April 18th, I do believe. I don't remember very many birthdays, but I remember yours, Mr. Thomas. I'm pretty sure it's April 18th. All right, bringing it down. Bringing it down. Sorry about the quiet pause here. Man, I'll tell you what, someone said that NASA wants to get to know the temperature change with the eclipse. Man, that's a lot of money to spend just to know what the temperature change will be for a 4.5 or 5 minute period. I mean, if that's the actual reason why they're doing that, then ladies and gentlemen, then I wonder why it is that we're $35 trillion in debt, just national debt, of course. Michael has been okay. Let's see. Thank you very much, Michael, for being a member for 5 months. By the way, gold is 24. So, Michael, what are you looking at? What are you looking at that's showing gold at 2,400? Because I can't find anything that shows gold at 2,400, and I'm taking a look at my ticker right now. I'm taking a look at a live ticker right now, and I can't see anything that shows gold 2,400 and silver at 28. Let me know because I'm very curious to see what you're looking at. Hey, Patrick Breck, thank you very much. And yes, indeed, prepare but enjoy life. It's not all about gloom and doom. And preparing should not be about gloom and doom. Preparing should be so that you can enjoy life and have a warm and fuzzy feeling inside, knowing that if something does happen, that you'll be able to supply or you'll be able to sustain, your family's standard of living. All right. If something were to happen, i.e., toilet paper. Remember that when people were fighting over it? I wasn't fighting over it because I have plenty of it, right? I stock up on it while times are good. That way, if you go to the store, maybe get an extra pack every month, maybe that you go to the store, you get an extra pack of what you need, then you're stocked up for 6 months or even a year. And it doesn't have to be on toilet paper. It can be on anything, right? So you stock up during the good times, and then during the bad times, you don't have to go and fight for it with anyone else. So thanks again, Patrick. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Forrest has a good answer for us. NASA is firing rockets into the ionosphere to see how the electrical layers react to the eclipse. In other words, study photoionization of the sun's UV lights. That is way over my head, that second part. All right, Forrest? But thank you for explaining. At least that's what they're telling us, right? That they're doing the rocket deals for. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Lori's Thrifty Kitchen Pantry. Lori, I am so happy to see you here during our live, and I truly do hope that you are doing well. Good to see you. Thank you very much, Gina. Thank you very much for that. Truly do appreciate that. That is, I like these comments so much more than the ones that are not very nice. Oh goodness. Yeah, right now silver is sitting at 27.68. So, does anyone here know who Cliff High is? Really nice guy from the evergreen state of Washington. He comes from Washington State, and he's got some kind of a computer system that he invented, I guess, years and years and years ago, that pretty much tell him what's going to go on in the future, dependent on the language that it sees from internet scatter. That's the best way I can put it, right? I'm sure he can explain it a lot better. And he said that there will come a day when silver prices will fluctuate by dollars. So one day it may be $1 over, $1.50 under, $1 over, $2 over, and then we'll see the price fluctuate in $5 over, $5 under. One day it might end at $35. One day it might end at $40 or $50, and then the next day it might come down to $35. So pretty much the volatility is going to increase in the amplitude of the nominal value or price of the metal of silver, right? And then he said that eventually silver is just going to skyrocket until it pretty much reaches its fair playing field, right? It's fair level where it's traded fairly. And he said that that's going to have a lot to do with the dollar. And today, it kind of reminded me of what he said, because I seen him say that years ago. Because today and yesterday, I think I saw that silver did like dollar gains upward down intraday and ended up being a lot higher at the end of the day than it was when it began. Right. And then he said same thing with gold. And he also said the same thing with Bitcoin. He said that there will be $100,000 Bitcoin parties going on. And he said that this cycle right now that Bitcoin's on is probably going to be the one where it breaches the $100,000. And ladies and gentlemen, the thing is, people say, well, this Bitcoin is worthless or this is worthless. You can't eat gold. You can't eat silver. But the one thing that is a common denominator amongst all of the metals, all of the commodities, why they go up and down is the dollar, right? So that's really what we're looking at when we see silver go up or go down, or we see gold go up and go down, in addition to the manipulation that they've been doing to silver and gold for the last several decades. All right. It also has to do with the value of the dollar. right? So it's kind of scary in a way for me because it tells me that we're getting towards the end. When I see the value of the dollar go up and the value of gold and silver go up at the same time, I'm like, man, what's going on here? Because they're supposed to have somewhat of an inverse relationship. But when I see them both go up at the same time, I'm like, wow, we might be getting close to the end game, because every fiat currency has an end game, just like every single Ponzi scheme that's ever existed. So anyways, that's how I think. Hey, Hobbit, how you doing? Good to see you. Let me bring it down some because I am way, way behind. I'm at least a good 10, 11 minutes behind. Let's see, bring it down. 103 Catherine, not that I know of. I don't think that Alaska had an earthquake. At least not here where I'm at. Well, how you doing, Keisha? You're on your mobile trying to keep up? Well, listen, if you're driving, be careful, okay? Let's see. Dana, let's prep. Is that a special? Oh, you know what? That's an egg that I forgot to bring back to the house. Yet not today. Yesterday morning, on my way to the bunker early in the morning, I just stopped off to see the ladies, and there was one egg in a spot that they normally don't lay eggs at. So I grabbed it, and that's it right there. I just got to bring it in the house and put it in the rotation. The ladies are doing really well. I'm actually working on a video right now where I recorded some of them so I can show you how they're doing, and I can show you what I'm doing about seeing if we can hatch some eggs this year into chicks. And they're doing really well. We have not purchased any eggs from the store to consume, obviously, for several months since before winter started, really. I think October. Yeah, I think October or November, maybe early November. We haven't purchased any eggs, and I don't see that we will. The way that we purchase our eggs is in feed and bugs, and they're doing great. And the eggs are very, very good quality, by the way. Mech After Death 801%. How you doing? And thank you very much, by the way. They're turning on CERN and HARP during the eclipse, both at full throttle. Wow, I wonder if we'll be able to see HARP from here, because HARP, from what I understand, is located somewhere here in Alaska. I really don't know where. Never really looked for it. Don't really care, to tell you the truth. But I wonder if we'll be able to hear it or see it, or I don't know, experience something because of it going off. Interesting. Thank you for that, McAfter, and thank you very much for the super chat as well. Joe, how are you doing? Doing very well. I'm glad to see you here. Thank you for asking, by the way. Bones, happy Friday to you. Good to see you. Did he really? Glenn Beck had a special on his YouTube channel, Prepping 101. Good. I really like to hear that, especially someone like Glenn Beck that has a huge audience. That is great. Awesome. The more, the better, ladies and gentlemen. I've often said this, and if you've been here long enough, you'll know that I've said this. This is not a competition. I want there to be 1 million prepping channels so that it can get out to as many people as possible. That preparedness is paramount, that you need to be prepared. No matter how good or bad you may think things get, you need to get prepared. Let's see. Jackson, thank you very much. I appreciate the super sticker. Really? So you all had on the East Coast a 4.8 and it shook for a minute and a half? Was that on the East Coast then? Because I think that's what you said about the East Coast, 4.8. Man, that's a very long time, a minute and a half. Wow. Battleborn from the Silver State. How you doing, Battleborn? I do own a little bit of crypto. I caught the Bitcoin wave on the last cycle. And then all of the crypto that I had left over after I cashed out on I cashed out on about 70% of what I had. Made a very nice profit, and so did Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam got a really nice chunk of that, but made a very nice profit that I used to prepare and to get someone a motorcycle. You all know who that someone is if you've been here a while, right? And then the rest I just left in my hardware wallet. I will never touch those. I will leave them there. And hopefully one day my children can have them because they will have appreciated. And if they end up not appreciating and they end up all going to zero, the little bit that I do have, then so be it. It's all the house money anyways, because when I cashed out everything that I had put into it and then a lot of some. So, but yeah, I do own a little bit of crypto. Let's see, AJ. Thank you, AJ. AJ says it's biblical repentance and get right with God before it's too late. Nothing will date you but Jesus of Nazareth. Thank you very much for that, AJ. I've always said that you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, are you okay with yourself at the very minimum? Because we all have a conscience, ladies and gentlemen. We all know. Let's see. Evita says, my sisters live in northern New Jersey and describe the earthquake as an extremely scary event. Everything shook and some people lost power. Oh, wow. Well, yeah, I remember being in a pretty big earthquake back like in the very early 90s in California. It was a pretty big earthquake. My wife and I and my mother-in-law and my aunt-in-law at that time, they've obviously passed away since because it was a very long time ago. We were at a Kmart and it was a pretty big earthquake. And all I remember seeing is the shelves that were probably about 15, 20 feet high going like this back and forth. Right? And yeah, pretty interesting, pretty scary really at that time. That is a great idea, Patricia, getting a tricycle that is electric. That's a great deal. People don't know how many things you can actually use an electric bike for during grid down. Not just getting A to B, getting from A to B, but you can actually, I call the one that I have, I call it my mule. That's going to be my mule if we ever lose electric grid power or the ability to transport from one place to another. I'm going to tie a little trailer to it, and that's what I'm going to use to haul my stuff. If I have to go get water, I'm going to use it to haul water, etc. Let's see. Okay. AJ, thank you very much. Well, I mean, I don't know about that, AJ, that nothing will save you. I mean, I don't know about that nothing will save you. That just doesn't make sense to me. Then why are we here? I don't know. I'm not going to get into these conversations because, in my opinion, there's no right and wrong, depending on who you are, of course. We're all of free will and we all can follow and do things different from one another. And people can stand right in front of each other and argue forever about something, and they'll never be done arguing about it. So, yeah, but thank you very much. I do appreciate your support. My dad is 85 and a prepper. Awesome. Let's see. Mary says they want to push the global warming agenda. So gold right now, I guess SR says is 23.49. Wow. I want there to be a very substantial pullback in gold and in silver, because I think that if there is a substantial pullback, it's going to shake the leaves, all right? And then it's going to confirm that we are going to go even higher than before. That's usually what happens. Do you all want to take a look? Well, I'll ask you. I guess we'll just do it. I actually have my gold and silver charts, or at least my gold chart up for long-term and short-term. I'll go over them with you real quick if you want to take a look at them, because I actually got them up where I can get them really easy. But let me see if I can work my way down to the bottom here real quick. We're at what, about 45 minutes or so? Let's see. Let's bring it on down some. Michael says, my mistake on gold and silver. Man, I was hoping that you were right. I was hoping that my page had not updated and that you were right. That'd be awesome. Big Chap, how you doing? Big Chap, let's hope this is not the last transmission, all right? It was just a play on words. I was talking about, you probably weren't here during the very beginning of the video, but I was talking about that this may be my last live transmission, depending on what happens on April 8th, this coming Monday, all right? And if you would have been here for the conversation, I pretty much went over saying that really, there's a couple of things that I'm looking at, but, in the end, I think that this is going to be something that they were using in order to have us look at the right hand while they're doing something with the left. But that's just me thinking out loud. Okay, Rainy Steps. Thank you, Rainy. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Okay, bring it on down. Bringing it on down. Yes, fiat currency is a Ponzi scheme, Milo on the ready, 100%. Yes, it is. Kidsy Witsy, that's funny. Also, there were 2 earthquakes in New Jersey and 4 in California. Interesting. And Alaska? I'll have to look and see where in Alaska. It's probably one of the islands out there. I hadn't heard anything about an earthquake here. There's only one time where I felt an earthquake here in the house. Only once that I actually was here in the bunker during a live. It was a very, very light earthquake. I forgot when that was, but that was a long time. And I remember now I was actually here in the bunker. I was like, whoa, what was that? An earthquake? And it was. Okay. Hey, how you doing, Rex? We have 2 harp stations. One is about 7 miles from you, and the other is southeast. Man, I hope that those harp stations don't get targeted during a nuclear exchange. Forget it. That's it. It's over. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, those things we cannot control. Grand Scheme says, for some of your fresh eggs, I will trade you some silver dimes and a packet of seeds. Maybe later after I have more ladies that are producing in abundance. Because right now, we are about, I want to say about 2 weeks ahead on our fresh eggs. So we probably have enough fresh eggs right now on the counter to supply us for like 2 weeks if our hens stop laying eggs today. You know what I mean? So that for us is pretty comfortable. Once we increase our flock and they start laying in abundance of what we need to take care of ourselves and probably to take care of my son and his family, then I'll be willing to maybe do a little barter here and there. Right. But right now, we don't really have enough to do so. But thank you for asking. Thank you very much, Laura. Laura from Long Island. Thank you. Okay. Prep 2030 asks, AP, you should do a live with Green Greg. He is a rocket scientist. Really? Well, that's interesting. I usually don't approach many people to do a live stream, to tell you the truth. I actually just did a video with Marfugo, all right, from Marfugo News. And I'm not sure if he's posting it this weekend or if he already posted. I have to take a look. I'm going to end up posting it on this channel too, but it was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun talking to Dex and Marfugo or Adam, right, and Marfugo News. And if you haven't checked out Marfugo News or Marfugo TV, it's Adam and Dex, and they do an awesome job keeping people informed of what's going on. All right, I'm going to bring it down some. Cutting tool edge designer. Thank you. Thank you very much. Paying it for. God bless you as well. Thank you, cutting tool. I did see that, but everything does. So, Braided, how you doing, by the way, Braided? AP, did you see about the Johnson and Johnson bandages having bad chemicals? Well, they have forever chemicals and microplastics in them, and just about everything in our lives, ladies and gentlemen, has that kind of stuff. That is why, if you don't, I'm not trying to play my Simpure advertisement on you. You can get whatever kind of RO system you want for your water. If you do not have a reverse osmosis filtration system or a filtration system that gets your water as clean as possible, that takes out forever chemicals, you need to get that. In my opinion, that should be number one on your list if you're getting prepped for anything. And even if you're not getting prepped, it should just be part of your everyday life that you consume reverse osmosis water and then get your electrolytes elsewhere. If you go to my Simpure, you can actually get a system that puts the electrolytes back in the water, right? Or the pH back in the water, right? It's very important, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take anyone's word. Make sure that you do your own homework and that you test your own water to make sure that it's good for you and your family to drink. Because these chemicals are everywhere. Even bottled water, they've found it in like 80% of or 88% of bottled water. It's everywhere. And RO is the only way that you're going to know that you have good water, making it yourself. Because even if they put RO water in a bottled water, in a bottle of water that's plastic, it can leach out into the water that's in there already. So do it yourself, ladies and gentlemen. I am, but I think I'm going to wait about a week. AK Will asks, checking in from North Pole. How you doing, by the way? Are you ready to watch the Civil War movie? Hopefully we'll not live it. Yes, hopefully we will not live it. I believe it's in theaters this weekend, but I'm going to wait like a week or so and probably go during the weekday, on one of the weekdays during working hours, because I don't like crowds and I don't like theaters to start with, but I don't like crowds either. So if we do go, it'll be sometime that's inconspicuous of people being there in masses. Okay, let's see. Bringing it down. Well, Dale Robertson asked, what do I think about the bird flu thing on milk and eggs? Man, I really don't know what to think anymore. I think that we should get out of the system as much as we can. I really do. I mean, it's so difficult, but every day, ladies and gentlemen, there's something new. Every day, there's something new. You know, what do I think? Tell you what I truly think. I think that they are doing this on purpose in order to destroy our food system. Why? Because they need to control us. The things that we've got coming, all of the lies that are being exposed and that will continue to be exposed, the financial system, how it's going to eventually crash and implode within itself. All of the things that we've got coming, ladies and gentlemen, are things that will take power away from those that want to keep power over us. Right? The financial system crashes. Who do you think that takes power away from? From them, from the people that already put us in this situation, because the people at large will be very upset if that happens and when it happens. So they have to do something in order to make sure that they keep control. I mean, that's just what I think. It may sound conspiratorial, but it's just what I think. It's just that there comes a time when you've seen enough things that you just don't trust government at all. You know, I bet you that there's probably been some times when they were actually doing something that could have been a good thing. And I'm like, I don't trust them. I just don't trust them. What have they done for us to trust them? I just don't know. Evita asks, do you mind talking about the noise regarding the Black Swan event and explain what such event means? A Black Swan event is just something that comes out of the blue, if that's what you're asking, Evita. It's something that we weren't expecting. And a Black Swan event could be something that's natural and something that's man-made. So, for example, let's say that a Black Swan event could be something like an EMP. That would be a Black Swan event because no one was really expecting it, right? But then let's say that the Madrid fault line has a huge earthquake and it splits in half, and it brings about a lot of chaos. We weren't expecting that, and that's a black flag event. something that we weren't really expecting. Now, is there a Black Flag event planned here on April 8th? I don't know. There's so many theories going around that I just don't know. And the thing is that if we are truly prepared, then it doesn't really matter whether there is or not, because we will be able to make it to the next day, hopefully to the next week, month, and year, if we have enough preps on our side. All right. And community as well, obviously. Someone asked, what does the acronym HARP stand for? I don't know. All I know is it's some kind of an energy machine. It's like a grid of energy that they shoot up into the air and they can direct somewhere around the earth, or something like that. But it's supposed to be used to, from what I understand, all right, I'm not an expert at this, but I've heard that it's used for like weather modification, to start earthquakes, tsunamis, and stuff like that. Is it true? I really don't know. Somebody said lost total connection. Are we still good on here? I see that we're still good. I'm not that far behind now. Hey, thank you very much, Grand Scheme. Thank you for that. Truly do appreciate you. Yes, a Hobbit. Adam and Dex are awesome. So go check out Marfugal TV and Marfugal News if you haven't. They actually have a very, very good live. I've been subscribed to Adam, man, for years now. Literally for years. He was one of the very first channels to shout me out. I think before he even had like 100,000 subscribers. Yeah, before he even had 100,000 subscribers. I remember his 100,000 subscriber party. I forgot the name of one of his friends that was having 100,000 subscriber party for Adam or Frugal News. And I don't know if he's still on. Soldier something. I forget his name. But he was very entertaining. So yeah, I've been subscribed to Marfugo a really long time. He's just a really, really good guy. He really is. All right, let's bring it down some. Okay. Let's see. Prep 2030. Hey, I like that. Prep 2030. AP. So Green Greg, the rocket scientist, prepper channel, said he would like to do a video with you, but he didn't know how to get a hold of you. We were talking on last. Oh, okay. Well, he can send me an email. Send me an email. My email address is in the description of my videos, but if he wants to send me the email to my actual address that I checked every single day, go to my webpage, and all the way in the bottom, my email address is there. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have not checked out my The Alaska Prepper is the name of my webpage, or my internet page, however you say it, right? I'm probably not saying it right. But that's the name of my webpage. All of our videos are on there. All of our sponsors are on there. All of the ways that you can get a hold of me are on there. There's actually, if you want to sign up, and put your email in there so that I can send out a newsletter to you in case something ever happens, you can do that as well. I still haven't sent out a newsletter since we opened that web page. Haven't sent out newsletters. So if you do provide your email on there, it's not going to be something, number one, I will never sell it, number one. And number two, I'm not going to be sending you 10 newsletters a day. You'll be lucky if I send you maybe one every other month or one every 6 months. All right. So that's not what I intend on using it for. Just in case something happens, I can keep in touch with you all and let you know what's going on. So go check that out. Also, I do have a Rumble account. So if you go check out Rumble, just look for Alaska Prepper, and I'll see if I can leave a link on it on my normal videos from now on. Put a link on there to Rumble. My videos on Rumble are the ones that I put up here, but they're a little bit later. And I try to keep current on that in order so that if something does happen here on YouTube, we can still have somewhere to go. Okay. So I asked you to go to Rumble and go ahead and follow me on Rumble just in case. All right. So that's another thing. I'm glad I came up with that. Let's see. Yeah, so I can't wait to go see that movie, the Civil War movie. It's just going to be interesting. It'll be entertaining at the most, I think. Oh, have a good night, Michael. We're over an hour now. Have a good night, Michael. Good to see you. Have a good weekend as well. Be safe. Okay, I better bring it on down some. Look at this. It's Derek Gilbert in the house. How are you doing? Amber is doing good. Awesome. Good to see you, man. Hello, Amber. So nice to see you guys. Derek, I remember when I talked to you about this thing that happened to Amber here a little over a year ago now, right? I told you. Remember, we had a conversation. I said, "Hey, she's going to be all right. She's going to make it. She's going to be all right." Thanks to you, of course, for the actions that you took during the accident. So, ladies and gentlemen, Derek Gilbert is one of our community members, obviously, and him and his wife were in his wife and his daughter were in a terrible car accident where Amber almost lost her life. And in my opinion, of course, if it weren't for the actions that her husband Derek took um, to keep her alive, then the worst could have happened. But it seems to me, at least from the last picture that you sent, Derek, that Amber's pretty much made just about a full recovery. So thank God for that. Let's see. Angela Lan asks, "Is it warm there?" You're not wearing. No, I'm not wearing a jacket today. It is pretty warm outside. Let's see. It's 40 degrees outside right now, outside my bunker, and inside the bunker is 64, which is just right for me not to wear a jacket. So if you see me wearing a jacket in the morning or something like that, it's because it might be like 57 degrees in here, 60 degrees. I'll put on a jacket. But here, halfway through the day or almost through the day, it's warmed up with the sun beaming down on the tin roof and everything. So yeah, it's nice outside. And actually, 40 degrees, I'll go outside at 40 degrees without a jacket on. But you know how sometimes in the morning when you wake up and it's really early, even though it's not super cold, you have a little bit of a chill in you. That's usually why you'll see me wearing a jacket, like during my videos in the morning that I come in here early in the morning. Let me see. Thank you very much, Randy. Just wanted to send blessings. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Oh, and by the way, in case Gail is asked, in case you're wondering, Gail, I actually have your coin. It's in this envelope right here. I actually looked at my email for the longest time, my one winner chicken dinner email for people that won something. And I saw your email and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is from like almost a month ago. So I hope that you're watching. And if you're watching, I'll be mailing this out either tomorrow or Monday. So that's your, and I added an extra silver coin in there. All right. To make up for that. Okay. Let's see. Hey, this is Busted Beak. How you doing, Busted Beak? I remember you, brother. Thank you. I actually talked to Busted Beak, another one that I saw my email, and he has sent me an email like, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months ago, asking me a question and asking me if I call him. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like 2 months old. But I called you, didn't I, Busted Beak, even though it was like 2 months later. And I was just thinking, man, he must have been thinking that I was like, the heck with this guy. I try not to do that, ladies and gentlemen. If I don't respond to you like in an email, it's probably because you didn't ask a direct question. Or sometimes, like I told Busted Beak, sometimes it just gets lost in the sauce and I see it 2 months later. So sometimes that happens. Let's see. Okay, so listen, is there anyone here? Where is it? Okay. Okay, there it is. Is there anyone here from Fairbanks? If you are here in the live right now and you live in Fairbanks, Alaska, ladies and gentlemen, not that you know someone in Fairbanks, Alaska, not that your son or your daughter lives in Fairbanks, Alaska, and you live in Nevada or New York. If you live in Fairbanks, Alaska, and you are in the live stream right now, in capital letters, put Fairbanks, Alaska, or put I live in Fairbanks, Alaska. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and give that a couple of minutes. So I'm going to repeat myself. If you are in the live stream right now and you live in Fairbanks, Alaska, let's even say North Pole, because North Pole is not that far away, or even Fox, right? But if you live within the Fairbanks, Alaska area and you can meet me tomorrow or Sunday somewhere in town, like across from Home Depot, at the Holiday Store, gas station, or at Costco, or at Sportsman's Warehouse, if you fall in that category, put in all capital letters, Fairbanks, Alaska. Okay? We will see if there's anyone here. All I need you to do is say Fairbanks, Alaska. No, Alaska's too cold, says Senior Frog. That's funny. Ah, you're from Anchorage, Alaska, JT, or GT Jr. It's got to be Fairbanks, Alaska. And if there's no one here from Fairbanks, Alaska, that's okay. That's good. My wife just landed in Miami. Oh, goodness. Well, it doesn't look like anyone is here from Fairbanks, which is fine. I know that we have quite a few community members from Fairbanks, but a lot of them are probably on their way home from work right now. But we can always try next time. If anyone saw someone here from Fairbanks, I live in Fairbanks, Alaska. Salty Prepper, you live in Fairbanks, Alaska. Go ahead and confirm, Salty Prepper. Go ahead and confirm and put that again in your next chat. Say, I live in Fairbanks, Alaska one more time. Don't worry. It's going to be worth your time you doing this, especially if you really do live in Fairbanks, Alaska. So, Salty Prepper, say it again, Mr. or Mrs. I'm going to look for it. There's about a 20-second delay or something, but I'm looking for it one more time, Salty Prepper. Biden is, yeah, I know. Skipping Rock says Biden is refusing to fill up our oil reserves. Get your fuel now. Yeah, it's going to get very expensive, especially if we have a kinetic engagement with someone in the Middle East or anywhere. All right, because it's too expensive to fill it up now. So, you know, it is what it is. Where's Salty Prepper at? Salty Prepper did it again. Salty Prepper, check this out. You see this right here? This right here is the OUPES 600. All right. This is what I call the Mighty Mouse. Now, OUPES already sent me one a couple years ago when I reviewed it. That's mine right there. Okay. They sent me another one because I wanted to test it out during the winter. So what I did with this OUPES solar generator right here, man, what is right here? What I did with this Mighty Mouse is I left it outside all winter long to see if after the winter of -45 weather, it would erode the battery to where it was no good anymore. And what I found is that a lithium iron phosphate battery or a LiPo4 battery will withstand negative temperatures all the way down to -45. And once it's above freezing, it will still work like it was supposed to work with all the time. So this right here is yours if you would like it, right? This belongs to you if you want it. All you have to do is send me an email to this email address. Let me find it. Let's see right here. So Salty, just send me an email to this email address with your phone number, and then I will give you a call. All right. And I'll probably text you first to let you know that it's me. That way I can give you a call and you'll know that it's not someone trying to sell you something. All right. So this here now belongs to you if you want to accept it. All right. So congratulations. Obviously, I have to give it to someone that lives in Fairbanks because I cannot mail this out. I don't even think that the post office or UPS or anything like that will allow me to mail this out, which is why OUPES doesn't deliver to Alaska anymore. They can't sell you a solar generator to Alaska because it costs just as much as the actual unit cost to mail it. They used to have a contract with FedEx, and FedEx canceled it because it's a large battery. Even a 600 watt is a large battery for airline purposes, right? Then they got a contract with UPS, and they couldn't keep that contract because UPS wouldn't do it anymore. They can send it through a shipping company, but that's why it would cost probably just as much as the unit to ship it through a shipping company. So they don't offer it to Alaska anymore. If you want one and you want to pay what it costs them to ship it, you can actually contact them and they'll do that. But I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that at all. So Salty Prepper, go ahead and send me an email to onewinnerwinner2@gmail.com. Send me your phone number and let me know what your name is too, besides just Salty Prepper. And we'll set up a time this weekend that we can meet, and I'll go ahead and give you the Mighty Mouse right here, along with the power cord that it came with. All right? And that's that. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to go ahead and call it. Let me see. Lori's Thrifty Kitchen says, I need an OUPES. Lori, OUPES has a program that is called OUPES Help. Go onto my OUPES link under the description of my videos. Go to the link, click on it. It's going to take you to the OUPES site. I actually think I have the OUPES Helps link on the description of my videos. So go to that link and then ask OUPES to help you with a solar generator and tell them why you need it. It could be that you need it for a medical condition, like maybe you use a CPAP or an oxygen machine or whatever it may be. Tell them your story. You have to actually apply. Tell them your story. And a lot of our community members thus far that have applied for that help have gotten help from OUPES in the form of solar generators and even solar panels. So please try that and let us know if it works out for you that way. Yes, please, Lori, please give them a call, not a call. Please get on their site and fill that application out. You are a prime candidate for that. I really hope that works out. Emmanuel Bravo, how are you doing? Papi and the ladies are doing great, but I'm pretty sure that you know that the new alpha in town is Big Red. Right? We have Big Red, who is the new alpha. It was a chicken that decided to be a rooster. I'm going to leave it at that, okay? Because I can see the comments already. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're at an hour and 12 minutes. So ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are still here, I want to say thank you very much for joining in. If you want to support this channel and what I do, all you have to do is use the links that I provide below. If you're going to use them anyways, that takes a few pennies out of the manufacturer's pockets and throws it my way and never costs you a penny more to get what you were going to get anyways. All right. That's all I'll say about that. I do appreciate every one of you, especially those of you that take the time to come onto our live stream, because I think it's always a lot of fun to hang out with you. Salty Prepper, remember, send me your information to that email down below. We'll get together this weekend and I'll drop off to you the Mighty Mouse from OUPES. Other than that, be safe, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do anything crazy. Don't drink and drive, and don't drive if you're going to drink. And get a designated driver, get an Uber, get a cab. Call your parents, even if they're 90 years old, at 3 o'clock in the morning to come and pick you up. But don't get behind the wheel if you're intoxicated in any way whatsoever. Why? Because unless something happens on April 8th, I would really like to see you all again next Friday during our live stream. But remember that this Monday, we will be having a live stream with Gray Man on his channel, Gray Man Prepping, just like we do every Monday, going over the news and talking about the apocalypse. Other than that, God bless every one of you. I hope you have a great weekend, a safe weekend. God bless America. Let me go ahead and end it today with our outro. I think I forgot it last time. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out. God bless.